It was in 1987 that dozens of local television stations agreed to accept condom ads.
Don't have sex. You have plenty of time. But if you do decide to have sex, then use a condom. Very simply, use good common sense. Use a condom.
Representative Barney Frank, Democrat from Massachusetts, came out of the closet.
Obviously, things are nowhere where they ought to be, but they're a lot less bad than they could be. And there are an increasing number of members who are sympathetic, an increasing number of members who are sympathetic privately, and an increasing number who are ready to be public.
The Federal Communications Commission recommended criminal prosecution of radio station KPFK for airing the gay play Jerker.
He'd been cruising the sky mornings and evenings to and from work for months and months, maybe even a year, until one day the inevitable happened. Muni broke down in the tunnel. The car was jam-packed. This guy was standing, pressed up against my friend, who was seated, see, and, well, you can imagine the rest.
President Reagan appointed a National AIDS Commission that included one gay man. And during his 1987 visit to the United States, Pope John Paul II heard loud protests from gays criticizing the Catholic Church's stand on homosexuality. In 1987, custody of 16-year-old Brian Beatty was awarded to his late father's gay lover, Greg Corbett. Recognize this street? It's Hollywood Boulevard. 1987 was a year of major change for this area of town. Not only was 1987 Hollywood's 100th birthday, it also marked a year of major renovation and cleanup. But no matter how it looks, Hollywood is still the place we think of when we think of films.
In the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia, on the trail of the lonesome pine.
1987 saw several films featuring lesbian and gay characters. One film released early in the year was Waiting for the Moon.
What is your favorite number?
1877.
The annexation of Malta?
My birthday.
Of course. I guess that's what makes you a prominent woman.
Knowing when I was born.
And the fact that you're so modest about its significance.
In the film, director Jill Godmillo tells the story of the relationship between lovers Gertrude Stein and Alice B. Toklas.
Beyond the fact that she's mythic, she had something to say to everybody, but I think a lot to say, even though she wasn't gay identified and didn't see that as necessary in her life. She and Alice lived in Paris in a very bohemian community of artists who weren't particularly interested in and who didn't need labels, didn't see the world and enter the world as gay women. They didn't have to, you know. They weren't other in that world as gay women are other in the United States still.
I don't want to go away. I just want to go to the awards. I could, look, Joe Wharton and guest. I'd behave. I wouldn't say a word, I promise.
No.
Why?
Because it's for me. I wrote it.
I gave you the title.
Okay, so when they have awards for titles, you can go to that.
Stephen Frears, Prick Up Your Ears, offered the stark and brutal story of British playwright Joe Orton and his relationship with lover Kenneth Halliwell.
And he was an uneducated boy, and Halliwell really educated him and taught him to be a writer. And then, of course, eventually Joe became a better writer than his teacher was, and in some rather classical way killed his surrogate father.
What about Stephen Frears? Can you describe Stephen Frears in a few words?
No, lost cause. No, I mean, I've been making films for a long time in England in a rather quiet way, and now I've made these two films that people seem to like, and it's all come as a big surprise to the world and to me.
But it sort of puts you right out there in the front, doesn't it?
Well, it's not quite as spotlit as you imagine, but yes, I mean, people suddenly like these films.
They don't give out passenger lists. You have to be police or FBI.
You are such a dip. This is all the FBI we need.
Early in 1987, Bette Midler proved that Disney had a gold mine of a movie star with her film Outrageous Fortune. AIDS Project Los Angeles premiered the film at an AIDS benefit.
Sophie. She's wonderful. She's about this long. She weighs over 12 pounds. She looks a lot like my dad, who passed away while we were making this picture. It's very strange being a mom. Your priorities get sort of reordered, and you start taking things like life and death a lot more seriously than you ever did. I don't have very much to say, except that I hope you enjoy it. I hope it makes you laugh, and I hope you walk out with a smile on your faces, and with the knowledge that your $25 did not go to waste. Thanks very much.
And 1987's biggest gay hit was James Ivory's Morris, a film about internationalized homophobia and the social implications of coming out.